Hello and welcome to the Caymanas Park Highlight Show. In this week's edition, we'll recap all 10 races from Saturday, the 8th of October. Some exciting races were on offer, including the feature event, the Mark My Word Trophy. This was a 3-year-old and up open allowance event going 1,820 meters. The day also saw another edition of the Royal Dad Trophy, as well as the Vassal Jollyman Najee Memorial Trophy. Let's begin our highlights package with Race 1. This saw 10 facing the starter, covering 1,500 meters. In-form rider Ryan Lewis was aboard the 7-5 favourite Iani Lynx.
Starter ready for the first of 10, they're off. Fault Line comes out at the back along with To Cat Be the Glory. Omron got a good start, so to pass the booze as they leave the 7. Ian Lynx and Kai Alexis on the premises. Heavenly Glitter is near to them, running the rail as they make their way now, charging up toward the final 6. Past the booze on that lead by just about 3 parts of a length. Kai Alexis pressing with Ian Lynx, these three in a tight cluster. Omron is a length and a half in behind them, just about 3.5 lengths separates that bunch. Turn on the light, not yet switched on. Race is back in 5th, some 6 lengths off the lead. 2 more lengths to Silver Fox. Heavenly Glitter taken off the fraction. There goes Fault Line now making ground. To Cat With the Glory and the Great Britain. The 2 Carl Anderson runners share last. They've left the half mile and run now toward the final 7/16th, and past the booze continues to lead. Ian Lynx now moving closer, trying to get a drink as they make their way now toward the final 3. Just toward the outside, that's Omron. Kai Alexis, although ridden, now begins to hit reverse. A break back to Silver Fox and turn on the light, never switched on, as a bunch of egrets now go flying as the leaders turn into the lane past the booze, attacked by Ian Lynx now, who takes the middle of the track and now begins to switch across to the far side. Out comes a left-hand stick, and Ian Lynx has been straightened out. Omron trying to close a 3 or 4 leg deficit, but it is up front and traveling strong under Ryan Lewis. Ian Lynx bowling along on that lead. Inside the final 16th, it's Ian Lynx out in front by maybe 5. Omron chasing, but it's all over. It's all in vain, and Ian Lynx stretches the lead to maybe 7 or more. Omron is second. It's a head bob. Could be Silver Fox over Kai Alexis. Fault Line finishes 5th.
A comfortable 8-length victory for Iani Lynx, ridden by Ryan Lewis for trainer Jason DaCosta. Iani Lynx finished ahead of Omron, Silver Fox, Kai Alexis, and Fault Line back in 5th. Ten Sang Chong's imported Duke of Springs was a 6-5 favourite for the second event. 7 broke the starting gate, travelling a distance of 1,400 metres.
Ready for a start. They're off and racing in the second. Toughness got a good break, and Toughness heads towards the 6 furlong point. Toughness just the leader from Jolly's Dream. Mr. A right there, right between horses. That is My Time Now. Behind My Time Now, Duke of Springs. Then comes Golden Emperor, and racing at the back of the field, Kunama. They go toward the 5 furlong point. Toughness eking out a 2.5 length lead from My Time Now and Jolly's Dream racing in second, sharing second right there on the rail. That's Mr. A. Coming on the inside also, that's Golden Emperor being overtaking Duke of Springs, and racing at the back of the field, that's Kunama. Heading toward the 3, and it is Toughness bouncing easy on that lead, about still 2.5 lengths in front of My Time Now racing in second. Golden Emperor gone down in third. Recovering and coming around, that is Duke of Springs. Also coming on, that's Kunama. Mr. A against the rail, and Jolly's Dream left at the back there at the top of the lane. Toughness being tackled on the inside by My Time Now. Toughness still on that lead. It's still Toughness. Here comes Duke of Springs coming on nicely. Toughness still in front. My Time Now, Duke of Spring looking apart on the outside. Golden Emperor running on too. They're coming to the half a furlong pole. Toughness hanging tough. It's Toughness still in front, and Toughness is tough today to beat. Toughness by maybe 2 lengths. Duke of Springs is second. Then comes Golden Emperor running on for 4th. Could be Kunama.
Duke of Springs was only good enough for second place, as Toughness, partnered by apprentice Jordan Barrett, finished 2 lengths in front to win the day's second event. Shane the Canterman Ellis was the even money favourite, Pro Johnny, for the 3rd event. This was a maiden condition event for native bred thoroughbreds 4 years old and upwards.
They're off. Fair start, Silver Soul came out awkwardly and races at the back with Military Shot. As Jungle Cat now slips into an early lead, pressed early by ZI, Magic Bullet right with them, a length and a half separates the first three as they leave the 5. A gap of 4:05 to Bubbly Girl, Pro Johnny in the orange races on the rail. Sparkling Tradition further back, a gap back to Military Shot and Silver Soul, both sharing last. They've left the half mile. They make their way now toward the 760th. The tempo should increase, and Jungle Cat tries to slip away, but ZI now pasted on the outside of Jungle Cat. They're joined by Magic Bullet, these three in a tight grouping, a gap of 6 lengths to Pro Johnny. Sparkling Tradition urged to get closer running the rail. Bubbly Girl races up next ahead of Silver Soul, and a Military Shot not firing any shots at all at the back as they turn for home, a quarter of a mile to run. ZI and Magic Bullet turn for home, stepping out wide. Jungle Cat is toward the far side, right against the rail, almost brushing it. That's Pro Johnny. Silver Soul running on late along with Sparkling Tradition, but it is ZI, and here now is Pro Johnny presented on the rail. They race toward the 16th pole. Pro Johnny now coming up to join ZI, but it's only for a brief moment, and now Pro Johnny quickens up, and Pro Johnny will come away to win under Shane Ellis, the veteran. ZI is second, Magic Bullet third, Sparkling Tradition fourth, Silver Soul is fifth.
Under the safe handling of Shane Ellis, Pro Johnny was first past the winning post to win by 1.5 lengths. Saddled and owned by Gary Crawford, Pro Johnny completed the 1200-meter trip in 1 minute 17 3/5 of a second. The day's fourth event was named in honor of the first Triple Crown winner at Caymanas Park, as well as the 1981 Horse of the Year, Royal Dad. Apprentice Ryan Lewis was aboard Richard Azan's Perfect Brew, which was a 1-5 favorite.
Ready for a start from Dwayne Timmel. They're off and racing. How we're looking? Didn't get that good of a break. Sunset Silhouette rushes through, and it's Sunset Silhouette, Perfect Brew. Out wide, that's Pellicula. Then comes right against the rail. That's the head cornerstone. Real Boss follows them in fifth and racing at the back of the field. That's how we're looking. Heading towards the 7.5, and it is racing in front. Sunset Silhouette, just the leader from Perfect Brew, from Pellicula, attacking on the outside as they go toward the 6 furlong point. Pellicula now points and goes on by a length. Sunset Silhouette racing in second as they pass the 6. Then comes Perfect Brew. Behind Perfect Brew, right on the rail, that's the head cornerstone. Then comes Real Boss, and 5 or 6 lengths away, that's how we're looking. Passing the 5, and it is Pellicula bouncing easily on that lead. A length and a half in front of getting closer. That's Sunset Silhouette. Then comes Perfect Brew, right beside Perfect Brew, and that's the head cornerstone. Then comes Real Boss, and still at the back of the field, that's how we're looking. Coming toward the 3, and Pellicula is caught and overtaken by Sunset Silhouette. Perfect Brew comes a hunting on the outside, so Perfect Brew and Sunset Silhouette. Pellicula fails, it faded into third, right against the rail, and coming on the head cornerstone. Perfect Brew, just the leader from Sunset Silhouette, right against the rail. Perfect Brew in front and begins to pull off. Sunset Silhouette fighting on, still the head cornerstone, trying to run on. It's Perfect Brew in front and begins to skip away. Perfect Brew in front and going away from them. Perfect Brew, it's the second winner for Ryan Lewis. It's Perfect Brew in front and going away from them. Perfect Brew by about 5 lengths. Sunset Silhouette is second. The head cornerstone is third, and fourth, Pellicula.
A second win on the day for Ryan Lewis as Perfect Brew sped to victory in 1 minute 55 2/5 of a second, covering 1,820 meters. The fifth event was a maiden condition race restricted to native-bred 3-year-old fillies. Ryan Lewis was aboard She's My Friend, another smoking favorite from the stables of Jason DaCosta. Horse number 1, Traditional Lady, was a late non-starter.
And they're off. Exceptional Babs got away a beat slow, along with Blue Persuasion. Dancing with the Cat also racing with the back markers as they leave the 6, and Never on a Sunday gets that lead narrowly over She's My Friend. Melmick right on their heels. Premier Identity and Noah Lee race out wide. Oh So Long is running the rail. Empress Nakilia making ground, overtaking A Premier Identity fading back on the outside, dancing with the cat, now asked to boogie down against the rail. Exceptional Babs races in behind them. And last of all, it's a Blue Persuasion as the field stringing out a bit as they leave the 7/16th. She's My Friend guides them along, occupying pole position, never on a Sunday, one length down, and trying to pounce as they go passing the 3. There goes Noah Lee now accelerating on the outside. Melvick in the orange silks runs the rail as they're about to come thundering into the lane. Oh, so long just in behind them, but with a lot to find as She's My Friend continues to hold that lead and now gets cracks of the right-hand stick. And now quickly, it's switched neatly by Ryan Lewis. He's looking for his third into the left hand as they drive past the furlong pole. It's She's My Friend out in front and clear. Never on a Sunday chasing over against the rail. Oh, so long. Noah Lee is out wide, but this She's My Friend has poached a 5-length advantage and will hold it to the line. A 3-timer for Ryan Lewis. Well done. Never on a Sunday is second. Third, Oh, so long. Then Noah Lee, an exceptional Babs is fifth.
6 lengths separated the winner, She's My Friend, from second place, Never on a Sunday. This was the second victory of the day for the Ryan Lewis-Jason DaCosta partnership. However, this victory handed Lewis a hat-trick of wins for the day. It's now time for a break on the Caymanas Park Highlight Show. On the other side, we'll recap the remaining races on the card from Saturday, October 8. This included the day's feature, the Mark My Word Trophy. Also featured on the day was the Vassal Jollyman Najee Memorial Trophy. Back to the Caymanas Park Highlight Show. In the second half of our show, we'll recap races 6 to 10. This included the day's main event, named in honor of the 2010 Triple Crown winner, Mark My Word. The 6th event was a sprint contest covering 800 meters. Sensational Satin was the puncher's choice, sent off at odds of 2 to 1.
Once again, we're ready. They're off and racing. Papa Albert gets a good start in the middle. Also there, that is Alimony over on the far side. Smarty Tradition, right there too, that's Mamacita and Sensational Satin. Over on the near side, that's Stanislaus, and Stanislaus could have the overall lead as they come towards the 2 furlong point on the course. Stanislaus right on the defense, Commissioner right behind and traveling nicely too. Also in the middle, that's Mamacita. Sensational Satin is right there too. They're coming to the furlong pole and it is still Stanislaus in front. Stanislaus running like a scared deer in front of Stanislaus, still in front, and Stanislaus begins to pull away. Stanislaus in front of Papa Albert. Stanislaus beats Papa Albert. Sensational Satin. Then comes Smarty Tradition and Commissioner.
At 3 to 1 odds, Stanislaus landed the day's 6th event. The 8-year-old Chestnut Gelding clocked 48 3/5 of a second, covering 800 meters for apprentice Romario Spencer and trainer Gregory Forsyth. The Princess Popstar Trophy was next. A field of 6 was in contention for this event, with title-leading jockey Dane Dawkins aboard the 3 to 5 favourite Sistine Treasure.
Now they're off for the Princess Popstar. Royal Ash left toward the back, now overtaking the new trailer. That's She's a Mirage as they go slipping past the 5 and make their way down the back stretch. They travel up now toward the half mile, and Legit Boss in the blue silks and the yellow cap leads up. Thalita chasing in tow, just a length separates them. A break of 3.5 to Sistine Treasure. Royal Ash is moving next, down into 4th, and 5th and last, it's She's a Mirage. They go passing the 3 and make their way now toward the 5/16th. Legit Boss controls the tempo and leads up by some 2 lengths. Chased all the while by Thalita now as they turn for home at the quarter pole. It's a Legit Boss in the yellow cap leading up. Thalita is on the rail. Sistine Treasure, the foreigner, now begins to get going. Royal Ash, the grey, is racing out wide, but it's Legit Boss who continues to lead. The rider has a peep in his mirrors as they go flashing past the furlong pole. Legit Boss and the wily Dick Carnanas now surrounded. Here is Thalita on the rail and Sistine Treasure on the outside. Legit Boss giving way. Thalita will win the Princess Popstar. Close between Legit Boss and Sistine Treasure. Royal Ash is 4th.
Toledo it was, prevailing by 1¼ lengths to land this year's Princess Potstar Trophy. Legit Boss, the favourite Sistren Treasure, and Royal Ash completed the top four. The 2021 Derby winner Calculus was a 1-2 favourite for the Mark My Word Trophy. This distance event was named in honour of the 2010 Triple Crown winner, Mark My Word. Calculus was a 1-2 favourite, but was always likely to face a stern challenge from Dale Murphy's importee, Runaway Algo.
Ready for a start from Denzel Miller. They're often racing in the Mark My Word Trophy and gunning for that lead. Makeup Artist rushing down on the outside. Right there to that She's a Wonder. Runaway Algo saves the runner on the rail. Right behind them, that's Big Jewel on the rail. In between horses, that's Calculus and Money Monster just at the back of the field. They head toward the backstretch and it is making the run-ins. Makeup Artist, just the leader from rated in second. That She's a Wonder. Runaway Algo tacks on to the tail in third as they head towards the sixth, heading towards the sixth. Then comes Calculus racing in fourth, passing the sixth. Big Jewel comes next, and recovering that is Money Monster. As they head toward the 5 furlong point, and the war now starts, and it is Runaway Algo, just the leader. Makeup Artist right there too. Runaway Algo about a half a length in front. She's a Wonder right, staying with Runaway Algo. Makeup Artist backing out of it as they pass the 4. Calculus and Money Monster comes a calling, and left out of it, that's Big Jewel. They head towards the 3, and Runaway Algo makes the intentions clear. Runaway Algo by 3 lengths from racing in second, that is She's a Wonder. Here comes Calculus winding up and coming forward. It's Runaway Algo in front. Chanel is asking Calculus to go. They're at the top of the lane. It is Runaway Algo still in front. Calculus comes a calling. Runaway Algo is fleet-footed. Is still about 3 lengths in front. Here comes on the outside Calculus. Runaway Algo driven at the furlong pole. Calculus coming forward. Runaway Algo tying up a bit. Calculus is right on the outside. Runaway Algo is still there. Calculus on the outside. Runaway Algo. Calculus. Calculus looks to be coming on, and Calculus beats Runaway Algo in the Mark My Word. Then comes Money Monster, and She's a Wonder.
Worn down in mid-stretch, Runaway Algo concedes the lead to Calculus to lose by 3 lengths. Another ride from the Canterman Shane Ellis saw Calculus clocking 1 minute, 54 and 2/5 of a second to secure this year's edition of the Mark My Word Trophy. 12 faced the starter going 1500 meters in the 9th and penultimate event. GT Boy, partnered by Rayanne Lewis, was the even money favourite.
They seem to be ready. They're off. Pip comes out at the back. Justin Biden. Salute the Deputy didn't get away that well, but now begins a recovery run as they go charging up now toward the final 6 furlongs. 6.5 to run. Power of Faith battling for that lead. Tap It Good hidden on the outside. Disha races next as they leave the 6. Salute the Deputy right there in 4 spot. Close enough if good enough. So too GT Boy. Secret Emperor is further back, possibly 8 lengths off that lead. Tracked closely by Justin Biden as they slip past the 5. Rainsville 2 lengths in behind. 5 Spen Liz the Grey races in front of Pip, Lion of Icati and Don Vincenzo both share last. They're arriving at the half mile and go spinning into the home turn and make their way to the 7/16th. The Power of Faith and Tap It Good continue the duel up front as they leave the 7/16th. Adisha is 2.5 to 3 lengths back and racing in third. They leave the 3. Salute the Deputy and GT Boy come next. Justin Biden. There goes Secret Emperor and Rainsville beginning their run. 5 Spen Liz needs to do more along with Pip, Don Vincenzo. And last of all, it's a Lion of Icati. As the field turn for home, they're at the top of the lane. They leave the quarter pole behind. And it is Power of Faith who snatches the advantage. Salute the Deputy is on the rail. Disha and a GT Boy trying to close up. Rainsville is racing out wide. Power of Faith now running on fumes. Salute the Deputy closing up on the rail. That's Justin Biden, but Rainsville now bursts through the pack inside the final 16th. It is Rainsville put to the right-hand stick. The wily Dick Cardenas will finally get one on the card, winning by almost 3 over 5 Spen Liz. Then Salute the Deputy. Could be Justin Biden over the wide-running Lion of Icati. Close.
Panamanian rider Dick Cardenas logged his first win of the day aboard Rainsville. 5 Spanleys, Salute the Deputy, Justin Biden, and Lion of Acati completed the top 5. The consistent Madeline Sunshine was the 1-5 favorite for the Vassal Jollyman Niger Memorial Trophy. Here's how the race unfolded as 11 faced the starter, going 1100 meters.
And we're ready for a start. They're off and racing. Sparkle Diamond steps a bit slow. Madeline Sunshine blasting to an early lead. Right there too, that's Will the Conqueror as they pass the 5. Madeline Sunshine in front of Will the Conqueror. Done Robin right against the rail. Sweet Majesty out wide, right in the middle. That is Artesia. Also coming on the outside, that's Magical Mood, but still in front and traveling nicely too, coming toward the 3, that's Madeline Sunshine, about 3.5 lengths in front of Will the Conqueror. Here comes Magical Mood, also coming on that Sweet Majesty. Artesia right against the rail. Don Robin is bogged down on the rail as well, but this Madeline Sunshine not messing around at the top of the lane. Madeline Sunshine has poached about a 6 lengths lead in front of the still chasing Will the Conqueror. It's Madeline Sunshine turning on the power. Madeline Sunshine begins to come away from these. They're running for places at the moment. Madeline Sunshine paced against the rail, about 8 lengths in front of Will the Conqueror, still not giving up the chase. Madeline Sunshine, it's a double for awesome Anthony Thomas. Madeline Sunshine beats Will the Conqueror. Got tied for 3rd between Unruly Boss, Artesia, and Sweet Majesty.
Madeline Sunshine shone the brightest in the Vassal Jollyman Niger Memorial Trophy, partnered by champion rider Anthony Thomas for title-chasing trainer Jason DaCosta. Madeline's Sunshine clocked 1 minute 4 3/5 of a second, covering 1100 meters. As we recap another thrilling weekend of racing, it was highlighted by Calculus's victory in the Mark My Word Trophy. There are also memorable wins for Perfect Brew in the Mark My Word Trophy and Madeline Sunshine in the Vassal Jollyman Niger Memorial Trophy. Jockey Ryan Lewis was the most successful rider on the day as he secured 3 victories. Meanwhile, trainer Jason DaCosta logged 4 wins on the day. Well, this has been another edition of the Caymanas Park Highlight Show. I'll see you next time.